Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do an announcement for the Black SFF Readathon. So if you don't know, October is Black Speculative Fiction Month, and so if you can guess, the goal of this readathon is to read speculative fiction by and about Black people. We really want to encourage people to read all kinds of speculative fiction. We called it Black SFFathon because Black Speculative Fiction-a-thon is too long. So I'm co-hosting this readathon with 3 booktubers and 1 book blogger, and so I'm going to be leaving all of their announcement videos down below. This was created by Chloe from Thistle and Verse. This readathon was basically all her idea. And my other co-hosts are Jerry from Onyx Pages, Noria from LucieReads, and Arlene from Block Press Books. So I will be leaving all of their announcements in the description box down below. The readathon will be taking place between October 18th and the 31st, so we're announcing this a month ahead of time, so hopefully this is enough time for you guys to get your TBRs in order. We're also encouraging participation across all social media platforms, so you can participate if you're a booktuber, if you only have a book Twitter, if you have book Instagram. You'll probably get the most out of the readathon if you have Twitter and Instagram, but you can participate if you only have one or the other. The Twitter account will have reading sprints and other things going on there, and the account is at Black SFFathon. Pretty easy. It will be linked down below, and it's currently on the screen. And on the Instagram account, we're hosting Instagram challenges, so you can find out more about the Instagram challenges over on the Instagram, which is also at Black SFFathon. And like I said, both of those accounts will be linked down below. There's a man across from me. I'm currently recording outside, as you can guess, and I can hear like every single word in this conversation, which makes me wonder how loud I am, and also whether you can hear me talking about him. So let's talk about the readathon prompts. We are doing prompts for this readathon to help maybe guide your reading if you need it, or if you just like prompts. I like prompts when I participate in readathons, so we added them. Not just because of me specifically, but because, you know, I think a lot of people like prompts. There's a whole bingo board for the prompts, which is right next to me. And yeah, obviously the goal is to make bingo, but we're not going to come and find you if you don't. And to make it easier on you, you can combine prompts. And in fact, we encourage it. In addition to combining prompts, feel free to combine with other readathons. During the month of October is definitely a packed readathon month because it is the spooky month, and I know a lot of people like to celebrate Halloween. Just a reminder that horror does fall under speculative fiction. You can use those spooky books to also participate in this readathon, as long as they're written by Black authors. And also, before I list out all the prompts, I do want to point out that Chloe has so graciously provided a long list of short stories that you can read for free for anyone who thinks they might have trouble acquiring books for the readathon, or for anyone who just wants to read more short fiction. Definitely on BookTube we lean towards more novel length sized books or short stories that are part of other books or book series. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely use the short stories in the Google Doc that is linked down below to fulfill the prompts. And so the prompts on the bingo board are to read a book with an LGBTQ+ main character. This feels pretty self-explanatory. A book that is social justice oriented. We do talk a lot here about how not every book by a Black author needs to represent the struggle, but in this case, for this prompt, it does. The next prompt is to read a book where there are gods as characters. For this one, I'm going to give an example. So for example, the Inheritance trilogy by N.K. Jemisin follows gods, basically, within the world of the Inheritance trilogy. So there's a free recommendation. It's not really a recommendation because I haven't read it yet, but I know that this fits the prompt. The next prompt is to read a horror book, any kind of horror. I'm a big scaredy cat, so we'll talk about the next prompt in a second, which is to read a group book, and the group book is The Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste. The Jumbies is a middle grade book about Corinne Lemaire. She's not afraid of anything, and that includes Jumbies, who are definitely not real. They're just things that parents made up to scare their kids. That is until a beautiful woman shows up at her house cooking dinner for her clearly bewitched father. And so we must follow Corinne as she must call on her courage and her friends and learn to use an ancient magic to stop her and save her island home. This is apparently a reimagining of a classic Haitian folktale called The Magic Orange Tree, which I honestly haven't heard of. as a Haitian American, but also my parents never tell me anything. So, but yeah, I bring this up along with the horror challenge because this automatically fits under that. It's like middle grade horror. So if you're a scaredy cat like me who's not a huge fan of horror, then this might work for you. The next prompt is to read a book not set on Earth. This is once again pretty self-explanatory. Read a book with some kind of disability rep. Read a book written by an author not from the US or Canada. Especially on my corner of BookTube, we tend to focus on books written by people from North America, US and Canada, and also kind of the Western world. So this is to encourage you to branch out. And the last prompt is like a true prompt, and that is the word love. You can interpret this however you want to. You could read a romance. You could read a book with a heavy focus on paternal love. You could read a book with a heavy focus on platonic love. You could read a book with a heart on the cover. You can just go wild. And yeah, so those are all the prompts. I am going to be putting my TBR out at a later date, closer to the Readathon. I know some of the other hosts have already planned out their TBRs, and so their announcement videos will include their TBRs, and also you can use that as recommendations. And so the last thing that I want to mention in this video is that we are also hosting a giveaway. The giveaway will be for some items from Melanin Eclectic Shop. She sells like stickers and like planner items and like stationery kind of things. And so if you're interested in winning some stuff from her shop, then the only thing you have to do is make a TBR for the Readathon and then send it to us by tagging us on Twitter or Instagram. So you can film a TBR video and then tweet it and then tag us in that tweet, or you can post your TBR on Instagram and just tag us in the photo, and we will see that and we will count that as your entry into the giveaway. And so that's it. Those are all the things I think you need to know for the Black SFFathon. Like I said, it starts on October 18th. And yeah, please consider joining us. We're gonna have so much fun. If you are interested in joining us, leave a comment down below. And also, if you've made it this far into the video, leave a comment down below with some kind of space emoji. Whatever you're feeling is space, maybe stars, a moon. I think there's that like galaxy thing. Follow the Readathon Twitter and Instagram. Follow me specifically on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.